He was my silent prayer. People say love is beautiful when it's returned, but I learned that sometimes that purest love is the one that remains unspoken. My name is Lily, and this is the story of the boy who never knew he was the reason behind my happiest smiles and my deepest heartbreak. It all began on an ordinary Monday morning. The campus was alive with laughter, conversations, and the usual rush of students trying to make it to class. I wasn't paying attention to any of it until I saw him. He was sitting beneath an old oak tree with a book resting in his lap. The morning breeze gently moved his hair as he smiled at something he would just read. He wasn't trying to stand out, he wasn't trying to surround it by attention, yet somehow he became the only person I could see. There was something calm about him, something that made the noisy world around me disappear. That was the first day I noticed Noah, and without realizing it, he slowly became part of my everyday life. Every morning, I found myself looking for him before entering class. Every afternoon, I would catch a glimpse of him walking across campus with his friends. I knew he always ordered a black coffee from the campus cafe. I knew he loved reading during lunch instead of scrolling through his phone. I knew his love could brighten even the darkest day. The strange thing was, he didn't know I existed. I wanted to introduce myself so many times. I even rehearsed conversations in my head. Hey, I'm Lily. I've seen you around. Would you like to grab a coffee sometime? Simple words, yet whenever I came close, fear stole my voice. What if he thought I was strange? What if he rejected me? What if hearing one small no destroyed the beautiful world I have rebuilt inside my heart? So I stayed silent. Days turned into months. Without realizing it, he became the first person I searched for every morning and the last person I thought about every night. He slipped into every dream, every hope, every quiet moment at night. Before falling asleep, I prayed. Not even for myself. I prayed for him. I never asked God to make him mine. I only whispered, please let him always be happy. Looking back now, I think that was the first time I truly understood what loving someone meant. Because love isn't always about possessing someone, sometimes it's simply wishing them a beautiful life, even if you are not part of it. Then one autumn afternoon, everything changed. The leaves danced across the campus as I finally convinced myself that enough was enough. I was tired of wondering, tired of imagining. For once, I decided I would tell him how I felt. I took a deep breath. My heart pounded so loudly I could barely hear anything else. One step, then another. I was only a few feet away. Before I could speak, a beautiful girl walked towards him carrying a small gift. He looked at her and smiled. Not just any smile, it was a smile I had secretly dreamed of seeing directed at me. A moment later, he wrapped his arms around her. The world around me became silent. Students continued walking, birds continued singing, life continued moving. But inside me, everything stopped. At that moment, I understood he had already found the person who made his heart feel at home. I quietly turned around. No dramatic goodbye, no confession, no tears, just silent footsteps carrying a heart that had finally accepted the truth. That night, for the first time in years, I cried. Not because he had hurt me, he had never made me any promises, he had never led me on. He simply loved someone else. The pain came from realizing I had spent months loving someone who was never mine to lose. Healing wasn't quick. Some mornings still felt empty. Some songs reminded me of him. Sometimes I would see someone reading beneath a tree and my heart would remember, but slowly the pain became gratitude. I realized he had unknowingly taught me something beautiful. Love is not measured by how long someone stays, it measured by how sincerely you wish them happiness. Even after they have walked away, years passed, life moved on. One afternoon, while walking through a quiet park, I saw him again. He looked older, happier. He was holding the hand of a little boy while his wife walked beside them. For a brief second, our eyes met. He smiled politely, the kind of smile you'd give someone whose face feels familiar but whose story you have forgotten. To him, I was just another person from college, but to me, he had once been an entire chapter of my life. I smiled back, not with sadness, not with regret, but with peace in my heart. I whispered one final prayer. I hope your life stays as beautiful as your smile. Then I kept walking. Some love stories end with weddings, some end with forever. Mine ended with acceptance, and maybe that's what real, truly love is. Wanting someone to smile even when you're not the reason behind it. Because sometimes the greatest love story is the one that remains untold. Thank you.